People who do get enough for this shit. What's your job? High school shop teacher in Canada. 51K a year, in 8 years, and with a bed I'll be close to 80K. But here's the thing. Before that, I was a mechanic. 42K a year, working in the blistering heat, freezing cold, slush down the back while I'm changing oil, sore hands/knees, tired AF at the end of each day. So I think that I just really appreciate the job I have. Can kids be frustrating? Fuck yes. Can administration be a pain in the ass? Unquestionably. Do I have to do work on my own time? Yup. Do I miss swearing at whatever object is currently pissing me off? More than words can describe. But every time I deal with one of those situations, I think of where I was before, and all of a sudden it's okay. Software engineer. Sometimes you have to deal with shit breaking at inconvenient times for random reasons, but it's a pretty great deal all considered. Administrative assistant. Stay at it long enough and it can be a 6-figure gig, in a major city, supporting a SR exec. Infinitely portable, the job is pretty much the same in tech, finance, whatever, every company needs them. Virtually recession-proof, execs ain't gonna run their own calendars, email, expenses, travel, etc. Almost always has good benefits. While there are always exceptions, it's typically a very 9-to-5 job that isn't overly stressful or demanding. I work in procurement for the feds. Decent healthcare, great retirement benefits, decent salary, true 40-hour workweek, and a culture that actually lets you take the vacation time you're entitled to. There's bullshit I hate dealing with, but overall I think my employer actually gives a shit about me. Every place I've worked in the private sector I feel like a glorified piece of equipment. Dog walking. I get paid $27 per hour to walk around the neighborhood and literally pick up shit. It's fantastic and I wouldn't want another job. Computer programmer. Nobody bothers me, it's indoor work, no heavy lifting. Plus, it's interesting, it's like solving crosswords or Sudoku all the time. I make about $250,000 in a good year. Builder. Well paid, and as a bonus it's very physical. Appliance repair. Most of the time the hardest part is getting customers to fuck off while I'm working, but clearing average 200 per job and 7 jobs a day is pretty nice. Lawyer. First, there are many lawyers who do not even clear 100K, so this is absolutely not true for all of us. But for many of us, we are earning well over 200 plus a year to type at a desk, go on site inspections, take depositions, and present arguments to a court. There are many type A personalities in my profession, but if you keep a zen-like mentality you learn to laugh at people threatening to sanction you for enforcing rules and such. Plus, as long as you are completely honest with your clients, then if things go south, most will not hold you at fault. Special ed teacher for students with emotional and behavioral disabilities in a high-paying public school. I love my job, I love my kids, I feel like I actually make an impact, I get paid 6 figures, I have summers off and lots of breaks, and I can leave at 3:05 when I need to. I make $45,000/year to help people stay off the streets. We house the homeless and then just try to help them rise out of the mentality. I love on people all day long. Every single person I work with is amazing. My bosses are so flexible and we're not micromanaged a bit. Oh, and I have no college education, and I've been to prison. I'm so blessed. Park ranger. 32K a year. The pay is almost worth it most of the year. There's part of the year where the schedule has me getting up at 3 a.m. for 6 weeks, those days I feel like the pay ain't enough. I'm a railcar switchman, which is basically telling the engineer how many more car lengths the train needs to move, so I count down from like 20 to that'll do. We get a lot of downtime, so sometimes we're sitting down waiting for like 2 to 3 hours or sometimes all day, which is great. So apart from it being shift work, rotating days and night, DuPont schedule specifically, I get paid way too much for what I do. I'm a bartender. The gig I have is amazing. 99% of the time I'll work my ass off to make your experience the best. I really love my job and I make killer money doing it. I was a GS-15 chief of staff at the Pentagon until I quit, took an early retirement, because I'm tired of this shit. Now I do humanitarian work around the world for about the same pay. My team performs a lot of rescues of victims being trafficked. It is very rewarding work. This will get buried, but I produce interactive workout videos all over the world. My second week on the job, I was in a boat following some Olympic athletes from the GB rowing team down the Thames River in England on a gorgeous fall day, and I just thought to myself, I'm getting paid to do this. In 2 years I've been to 10 countries and my work helps people feel better and get healthier. I'm so lucky. I am retired, and it is an excellent job. I sit around doing whatever the fuck I want and get paid for it. I've spent the past 15 years training for that job. After another 30 years I'm hoping I'll be qualified. I'm a baker at a major university dining hall. I make cakes and muffins and Rice Krispie treats all from scratch. We also make cookies, but those tend to be frozen, place and bake. I bake for up to 1,200 portions of sweets per day, which is at around 20 full sheet pans of products. I'm full-time 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. My take-home pay is not super impressed, however I have something very rare if the food industry a union. I'm a proud union worker who is guaranteed pay raise. I also have full health benefits including vision and dental, a 401k and a pension. However, pro or con depending on how you look at it, I'm a seasonal worker. I only work when school is in session. So I'm off for 3 weeks at Christmas, a week for spring break, 3 weeks in the beginning of summer and 4 weeks late August to mid-September. I live thrifty and save my money, so I'm living quite comfortably right now. I have been at my job for 6 years and worked my way up from being a cafe attendant to a baker with only on-the-job training. Very happy with my workplace, and the kitchen is a very close group that always makes sure everyone sits and eats together so we can all chat. Fireman on the East Coast. No college education, no experience, no volunteer time. I've been making 6 figures since I was 20 years old. I have the greatest job in the world. I get to hang out with my best friends for 24 hours 2 days a week. Yeah, we have to work hard sometimes, but even working hard is fun in a sense. Don't get me wrong, it's really hard to see people on what could be the worst day of their life. You carry a lot of emotional baggage from the shit you see. But I get paid entirely too much for what I do. I can retire at 44 with a great pension. Can't beat it. I'm a scientist. I sit in a sofa thinking deep thought and fiddling with my computer. At work, and at home. Except currently only at home. Sometimes I don't know if I'm working or playing. All that matters is that the neurons are firing. Janitor. They are desperate for reliable and stable workers, so when they find one, if you've been with them for a decent chunk of time, you can negotiate a pretty decent pay raise. Before all my medical issues, I was getting paid $24.30 per hour, and the work, so long as you are not working at a school or public location or hospitals, is really not that bad. No worse than cleaning your own home, except you are getting paid for it. And unlike other jobs, they prefer you take it at a slow pace so they can charge extra hours to the company who hired us, though I try to do things without delaying, cause that just feels low to purposely work slow to charge them more when it can be done quicker. Finance in a big multinational corporation, over 6 figs a year, not including pension, stock, bonus, etc. Work 1 to 2 hours during slow days, most of the time, and 4 to 5 hours during busy days, a few weeks a year. Big Core allows for a lot of downtime since there is so much bloat, but most people generally lie about how much they are actually working. Wine sales representative. It's relatively easy and not a ton of actual work, maybe 25 hours per week. Lots of free wine, trips to cool places, bonuses, and good pay. Plus, the free wine is worth mentioning twice. I'm a flight attendant. You don't have to have any qualifications except a high school degree and customer service. The first few years the pay isn't too great, but you'll move right up the pay scale and, depending on how much you want to work, you could easily be making over $100,000. After dealing with people at work, you get your own quiet hotel room. Sometimes you stay in beautiful resorts. I'll forever feel like I won the lottery in getting my job. That being said, the industry is in free fall right now, and almost everybody below my seniority just lost their job. I fly big drones for movies/TV. It feels like I get paid to play video games. But, you just can't die in the game. Because it means you crash $100K and worth of equipment in real life. My bud welds underwater in full scuba gear. 6 figures for a job where you can't go a year without almost dying and could kill you over time anyway. Sounds like paid enough for this shit he deals with. Had to help retrieve a body once. Security guard in a mall. 99.9% of my time is fucking around on my phone and watching camera. But the 0.1% of the time something happens I am ready. It's why they pay me. It might be throwing someone out. It might be stabilizing someone who hurt himself. Someone need to be there for that because bystander just ignore/don't know what to do. As a military helicopter pilot you have to deal with a bunch of BS, but where else does someone toss you the keys to a multi-million-dollar aircraft and tell you just bring it home in one piece, then pay you a solid salary on top of the thrill of flying 50 feet off the ground at 100 miles an hour? I was a pro singer before the pandemic started. Most of my gigs evaporated overnight, but I still do a lot of church stuff that's gotten way easier. Before, get the music ahead of time, learn it, show up to rehearsal, sing with the choir for 2 hours, wake up for the service on Sunday morning, sit through an hour service, sing with the choir, maybe sing a solo piece, go home. Get paid $100 for 6 hours of practice, rehearsal, commuting, and performance. Now, get the music, sing through it a couple of times, record myself, upload it. Get paid $100 for an hour of work. This paradigm shift is the one thing I'm really gonna miss about this time. Worked storage management for a while. Like any customer service job there were issues of course, but there were days I would come home and my GF would ask how my day went. I would tell her I changed one light bulb and sat on YouTube for 8 hours. Job didn't pay great but it was a livable wage.